Hello, welcome back, and we are going to do Lightning. I believe is the next one, so I'll just bring up the next card here. We have the
Strong
Legend Irvin,
Boy.
which I've come around on. I really did not like this at first, but it's not bad. It's okay. You can tell it's a solid FF8 card when it doesn't say FF8 anywhere on it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's break hate. It's
zero name clash. Ticks a lot of boxes.
yeah, it's going to what?
Good S effect as well.
Good S effect's not bad. Again, there's probably not a monster of cost 5 you're going to hit with it, but you're going to get a lot of 3 cost monsters. It's going to, break hate as well. So again, if your opponent is filling up with Grievers and Ultimisias and all that sort of thing, you can just remove them all. So
I don't really know what deck this fits into, though. Like, what deck does this go in?
That is a great. It is probably Mono Lightning or Ice Lightning.
It goes in Mono Lightning. It gives Mono Lightning access to, break zone removal.
But X not to do that anyway.
I think that's it. It's any deck where you want break zone hate on, essentially. So like fire lightning, I guess, or could you do ice lightning with this?
Yeah, you really could do.
With break zone hate.
You could, yeah, but it's vying for other there's other cards which are vying for the same slot as this. I do agree. This is quite a difficult one to sort of place, isn't it? Even though it's a solid card, it's got a good amount of text, great S effect, in my opinion. It's the right cost as well, right CP. Just. It's in a highly contested. This goes in a deck which all the slots are very highly contested.
With the S effect though, like it's decent enough. Don't get me, like 5 or less is pretty much everything you care about. But are you going to put 3 of these in a deck?
No,
You're certainly not going to put any other Irvins in this deck. Do the S effect
solely for the initial effect. Like I don't care about the S effect on this card when I'm playing this card.
And when it, if it enters the field, you remove the 2 characters. Then you immediately go to attack. You remove another 2 characters. That can absolutely cripple someone.
Yeah.
Basically like a Kadaj.
So quickly. That's an 11k haste first striker. You ain't blocking that.
It's something people need to deal with.
Yeah, it's a beat stick. But you're right. It'll be heavily contested. But I do feel I played Ice Lightning at Euros, and a lot of times I lost just to break zone. People were just like abusing that, and I even played I played 2 X-Deaths, and I was still not fast enough to beat them.
I think there's wind rares that are more impactful than this card, but what's new?
Next
Cool
up,
legend. I like it.
Next up, we have the backup that makes you gain a crystal and draw a card. This is super playable in Lightning. Crystals are really good in Lightning. Crystals are really good in Lightning Earth, Lightning Ice. Drawing a card's always good. This could see play. It's a Cat 14, so it's good for Graha Tier. There's probably nothing else to say that we haven't already said in this, but solid card. Yeah. Really like it.
Red Mage Tribal.
Yeah.
Red Mage Tribal.
Tier's a good shout.
Next up we have Ace, because we're not allowed to have other cards with other names in Type 0. There's no reason this couldn't be called Sice, but it isn't because it's called Ace. It's not bad. I don't actually, since there's loads of Aces, I don't actually think that it's highly contested so much as you'd think. And of the forwards, this might be one of the better ones. But
the problem is I think the fire one still wins out because you're ripping cards out of your deck.
Yeah, but my problem with the fire one is that it only deals damage based on forwards and not characters, which samurais do.
I think with the fire one, the fire one wants you to build a class 0 cadet deck. This one just requires you to have this Ace and one other class 0 cadet. And then it's going to get you value every time it enters or attacks. It gets you card draw, which is in Lightning is very powerful because Lightning does not have a whole lot of card draw.
Also, discard one card. That's get rid of your arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I suppose when we come onto it as well, the backup is going to get you Aces back from break and stuff as well. So you'll always have the 2.
Since we're on that, we'll do all of the Type 0 cards now. So we have, again, that was the Tray, which is the EX Burst backup, which allows you to get one back. solid. That is something that they've always been looking for.
I mean, they had Rem, but like this one is a name that doesn't clash with something better.
I like this card a lot. I like it much more than the ace we just saw.
It has to go with something. I really wish there was some sort of fixer. We also have our spoiler, which is 9, which means it makes it really difficult to play this because you're missing out on the legend 9. But being able to dull a forward in your opponent's turn is really good. I really do rate this card. I think it's not bad at all with the new sort of space of Type 0 that they're going for, but please get some other names. We have also a Queen, which I'm not in love with, if I'm quite honest. It's a 3CP haste that sort of doesn't really do anything other than just be big.
Yeah, you got the old EX burst one as well, which...
It's all right. That's only
better.
going to dull something because it's never going to do the break.
Yeah, it is your best Queen going. Like,
I like
not
the
fixed. It's not. It was not a high bar it had to get over.
Yeah.
Very true.
It fell over it, but it did.
This is sort of maybe L3 at best, but not for me. This one.
I think in a sealed, this will be quite powerful.
Yeah. Again, that is a low bar.
Get that on the field. It's haste. It ticks the boxes, and it'll be hard to spot remove.
I've just had a quick look at Type 0 backups, and they are just pitiful.
Yeah. This is the first lightning one we've ever had.
Disappointed.
Yeah, there's Cater and 2 aces in fire, and then you've got 3 Rems in wind.
None of which you can play because the forward searches for anything.
Yeah. And then Deuce is possibly like...
Deuce
you're not playing 7, 3 CP back attack, 2k AoE. Nah. Not even
play again.
That's all this. If Type 0 had more backups, then that actually would be somewhat playable, but they're just...
It needs a colour fixer, like, so desperately. It needs a Shinju, basically.
Yeah, but the colour fixer will be called Ace.
Yeah, probably.
It's a whole new starter deck.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit with Odin. Oh man, oh boy, this is good. So, Mono Lightning plays a lot of EX backups. I will drop 3 EX. A lot of EX summons. I will drop 3 EX summons to play this. It is a straight retrain that is better than Opus 4 Odin because it kills monsters as well and it costs less. If you control 5 or more lightning characters, also draw 1 card. This is doable. Unlike another card that will be coming up this set, which spoilers, I'm very disappointed about. But having 5 or more lightning characters on it and drawing a card of a summon, it's so good. This will absolutely see play, and I think something like Man in Black is going to make this crazy good.
This is really good, but I wish there was 1 CP more in EX burst.
I don't.
Dear God.
No way. No way. So, because this kills monsters of cost 4 as well, this means it hits any monster. You can kill Ahriman. You can kill, I've been, I in my Earth Lightning and the Last Chance qualifiers, I because monsters like scared me so much, I played the 3CP Odin. I think it is. 3CP Odin, which kills a monster of cost 3 or a forward of cost 3. This costs the same thing and it gets more and it draws a card. Yes, this please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It has a face on a mother will love, but absolutely busted. And the old lightning that works with Odin's, my God, it's going in that list. The OTK lightning list. Get it in there. No threats. Just boom.
Next up, Emperor Gestal. When 2CP Emperor backup costs category 6, which category 6 has nothing in lightning, so that's completely irrelevant. When Emperor Gestal enters the field, you may discard 1 card. When you do so, choose 1 forward in your break zone, add it to your hand. And 1 dull, put Emperor Gestal into the break zone. Choose 4 cards in your opponent's break zone, remove them from the game. If these cards are of the same type, also draw 1 card. Busted!
Yep. That goes in any lightning list.
Yeah.
Yep. It'd be good.
It's really solid. I can't wait to test this.
The fact it says discard a card and then just choose a forward, that there's no cost requirement on the forward, is brilliant.
Discard Arc.
Yeah.
Getting
getting
rid of
as well, so you can get You can get it off of Arciello if that matters.
Yeah.
We recently got a Chadley that did something very similar, and it only got lightning summons.
That Chadley was really good as well, but
yeah, it's just a straight up. You know what? Let's make it better.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So next up we have Gunbreaker. When Gunbreaker attacks, deal 2,000 damage to all the forwards your opponent controls. Nope. And if you want to pay a crystal, you can do it again. Nope.
It's baby school.
Maybe in sealed, but no.
Yeah, good sealed, but otherwise it's a card.
It needs at least haste to have anything interesting go on with it. No.
Category 14. Get your old Zeros haste pals with Hien. Do not do this, kids. It's a bad idea.
Machinist. God, what the hell is this robot?
It's a
Real steel,
stand.
baby.
It's literally a JoJo stand.
Oh yeah, it really is. I like this so much more because it's even doing that sort of hit thing.
You're approaching me.
When Machinist enters the field, choose 1 damage forward, deal it 5,000 damage, and then Dull, choose 1 forward, deal it 2,000 damage. So it's sort of a retrain of Opus 1 Onion Knight on a standard unit. It's okay. It's not great. It's gonna be it's draft.
I got so excited with this card until I read it was damaged forward. And I was like, oh, you did it, Lightning. You remembered your really awful text from like Opus 3.
Yeah.
I really like the damaged forwards, like kind of mechanics, but there's not been anything that's really tied it all together.
No.
If there could just be like a legend which might be able to do something with damage forward, but like,
Hang it with the Cactuar first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, with that.
You build a deck and tell us how it goes, mate.
Definitely. That's...
Play at me at Winter Cup, mate. I need a buy.
Well, just play Cartman anyway. It'd be fine. Gilgamesh, DFF 5, 8k, and when he's put from the break zone, gain a crystal. And for cost crystal, you can give him haste, brave, and attack twice in the same turn. And damage 3, give him 1,000 power. In a sealed environment, this is absolutely broken. In anything else, probably not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, to be honest with you, it's not a bad card, and it's definitely not the worst Gilgamesh ever. There's definitely worse ways to spend crystals, and he's big. And if he's going to deal 2 damage, that is massively doable. There's a world where you can go Ninja Crystal back up, pay 4 for this, and get 2 damage on the first turn. So
there's another
Read
Gilgamesh.
the Opus 1 Gilgamesh, but for less cost. You do it for a crystal instead of S effect and 2 lightning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you say it costs less, but it costs a crystal.
You need an S.
Yeah. I'd say that costs significantly more than just a crystal.
It is annoying you have to keep paying a crystal for, each turn kind of thing. It doesn't stick with them like some crystal ones did. But yeah, for a common, I can't ask for much more.
A solid common.
Speaking of which, for a rare, absolutely broken card, Cloud with the Job Warrior, not Soldier, not Merc, nothing like that, not Category 7. If you control a card named Lan or card named Rain, the cost required to cast Cloud. That's difficult. Anybody else want to give that one a go?
Cost required to cast Cloud.
Oh, can be paid with CP of any element. And then when he enters the field, choose 1 forward your opponent controls. If it costs equal to or less than the number of category wolf characters you control, break it. Amazing. He's going to kill 5, 6, 7.
Where were you in Opus 10, mate? Oh my god.
In Opus 10, WoF was the best deck in format. So
yeah, this would have just
this
been
as well.
Dead.
It's crazy good. This is amazing. It's a bit Ron Seal. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And it can
some
go
more crazy eyes as well.
Yeah,
it being characters is big as well. Just walking in your backups, instantly it's so easy to get 3 good WoF but characters backups, and yeah, you're just smiting anything.
Even in a sealed environment, all you need is the rain backup.
Yeah.
Just check on resolution though, so do be careful what you target.
I mean, a lot of it's going to be you're going to have 4 backups in this. So even if you want to kill something that costs 3 or 4, it's definitely going to happen.
And if they dare even ammy that on 2 CP, they just can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's too cheap.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably isn't. It probably isn't that viable as well. But at least remember, if you're playing this in sealed, it is a job warrior, so it can be searched in this very set.
My beavers, my guy boys.
Next up, we have Black Knight. I do want the full arts. It is a 2 CP monster that says when he enters the field, choose 1 forward or monster of cost 2 or less controls and break it. And for 2 lightning and 3, put Black Knight into the break zone, choose 1 forward monster, break it. I think it's good.
Bit too expensive for the second effect.
The problem is that for an auto include, I actually don't think that 5 CP to kill any forward is that bad at all. But
the first effect, though,
you cannot make sure your opponent's playing a cost 2. Yeah.
I think for 5 CP Realm, this is a very interesting target because I don't think I remembered any of its 1 or 2 CP targets that could remove a threat that I picked. There was like that Quandav, which was like pick a 2 CP
right
less forward day pick.
Okay,
this
but
is just
if you're playing this in Realm, you have to break your 1 cost monster. It doesn't say up to, and it doesn't say your opponents. Oh, it does say opponent controls. Oh, no.
Yep.
No, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I can't read.
Funnily enough, you could do it with Skeleton. Give Skeleton a counter. I don't know. Do it that way.
I don't think this is bad, but it comes down to how good 2 CPs are in the format.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence.
I can absolutely appreciate that. If you could somehow animate it to a forward, it would then be a really, really good monster. I mean, that's what's missing for me.
Then this killing 2 CPs, is it just worse than Ixion? Like, sure, Ixion doesn't hit monsters, but...
Yeah.
I maybe that's the main thing with this. How bad are monsters in your local area? And if that is the case, play it. I don't think this is bad at all.
Yeah, as a tech card at the very least.
I feel like it's the Ghostbusters. Are monsters in your area?
I want hot single monsters in my area. Next up, we have Man in Black. It's called Man in Black. Let's move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really cool effect.
This card is great. It's just got the wrong name, man. So
it's also being Earth, surely.
In sealed, you could never lose.
As well, like in L3, this massively sees a place as well. So he is Golbez, and at the beginning of your attack phase during each of your player's turn, choose up to 2 forward your opponent controls. If your opponent doesn't pay 3, they gain this forward, cannot attack or block until the end of the turn. That's pretty good. And damage 5, Mana Black gains 2,000 power. It's a little bit too expensive for what he does. It's a big tax card, so I'm not. I don't know what deck this goes in, if I'm going to be completely honest.
It just should have been an Earth card. Like, the tax effects is always kind of been an Earth thing, so I don't know why they've decided to put this into Lightning. And if this was in Earth, then it wouldn't have as much of a name clash. Like, sure, you would play the other Man in Black in Earth Lightning, but you probably wouldn't play the kind of tax deck with Lightning anyway, so I think it would have been fine. Just don't get why this is Lightning.
I mean, most of the tax has been in Earth and Ice. So if you're pulling Earth Ice, you still have issues.
It's just, yeah. Anybody really like this? Anybody really want to try this one out?
Nope.
They wanted to use the art. It's cool art.
Right. Next one is the Lightning Legend here, Xande. I want to take the reins on this one because I see a lot of hype over this one, and I think it's dreadful. I think people are really excited about this card. I played a lot of Mono Lightning over the course of Opus 20. I played loads of different versions of it, and I do not think there's room for this card anywhere. I think this is bad. I think it costs too much, and I think that it's just going to... Well, for a start, so it costs 5 and is 9k. And when he enters the field, if you control 4 more Lightning characters, you can choose 1 forward and break it. That's fine. That's doable. When Xande enters the field, choose 1 forward in your break zone. If you control 8 or more Lightning characters, play it onto the field. you are not going to have 8 or more lightning characters. And if you do, you should already be winning the game if you haven't won it already. It is... The ceiling's high, but you're walking straight into a board wipe. If you're going to have like 9 forwards, let's say like 4 forwards on the field by the time this resolves, you better win the game because your opponent is just going to... You walk straight into a Shanto and that's game over for you. But...
Dragoons?
Yeah, but that's perhaps Dragoons.
What do you want to resurrect in Dragoons that's high value though?
Well,
because I think with this with the second effect, because the ceiling's so high with it, it can hit any forward. It's one of the I think it might be like one of the first cards that can hit light or dark forwards, resurrect them kind of like indiscriminately, which I think is really good. I think I agree with you in the sort of like current mono lightning deck that's running about, doing the rounds. You cannot fit this in that deck, but I think you need to kind of reinvent that deck to work with this card, and I think it's possible.
You need monsters, and there's no monster support in lightning at all.
I mean, what lightning monsters would you potentially run alongside this anyway?
The point is when you put it down to brass tacks, what does this do? It kills a guy and it revives a guy. Well, if you put those the other way around, then Alize revives a guy, which is like Ishtola, and kills a guy. That's that's much better for that sort of way around as well. And the way I look at this as well is you look at Merald, which is the revived guy, and it breaks something, and it has haste. This doesn't. I think 8 characters is just horrendous. This is never happening. The maths just do not work out.
I mean, if you're playing it, you're playing on the last turn of the game.
So how many copies of this do you run? Is the break alone just fine? And if it is just fine, then why have you wasted 5 CP on just a break when you could have just played Alize that turn?
I mean, you probably run this as a one-off, maybe.
I think you need to see lightning as a whole and think about how easy it is to hit its first trigger or that kind of thing, and then like look at the rest of lightning of how easy it is for its break mechanics. This being a clean break on anything, like we were hyped up with the Odin, but the Odin still needed some things to be met. This one, I think the bar is very easy to hit that lower one. I do agree, it's outside Ami range to die. That's kind of nice, but yeah, I do feel you're right. Of the second effect is a bit overhyped, but also as Jacob really pointed out, I think it's very strong. But this is a huge glass ceiling of anything of the sky is the limit of it's Feral Thanos, it's a chaos, it's whatever.
But anything that you could play like that, you should already be in a winning state.
Oh, massively. I think I do agree with you on that as well. But if it's a real nail in the coffin of you just insulting your opponent, going, "Here's a Feral Thanos now, but I discarded turn 1. Good luck."
I also don't think that straight break is as good as power reduction for like 12k, because you can both of them say like
power reduction is the best spot removal. Like I think in the game.
So I don't get it. And like I've seen some people say like Steve D said in his review as well that like you'd replace this for Adia, but this doesn't do the same thing that Adia does. Adia has an EX burst, and
you want to play Adia off this, right? You want to play Adia, you want to play Aranea. They're like, well, the Aranea is obviously going to get you an extra point of damage that turn as well.
Ooh, that's nice.
But
the thing is though, is if you're seeing this coming down, like we see how much like break zone hate is in the game at the moment, and with more coming in this set, are the big things that you're wanting to bring back with this even going to be in your break zone? Hell, you'll probably run into a Mist Dragon 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, no.
I think we can see a lot of things. I do agree break zones are getting serious hate, but even this extending the potential Alice in your break zone, bring the rest of them out whilst you do it. But I think, as Paul said, if you are hitting that trigger of 8, you've either cracked monsters, or you should already won the game.
I would love to be proven wrong, but I just do not see it.
Is there any monsters that search monsters in Lightning?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I can definitely see
why
it.
I think this is a one of to end the game.
It's definitely a good card to test, I think.
If you discard it early, like you can't get it back though.
Can with the Emperor
Gustav.
No, I suppose.
Lovely.
Chadley. Come on now.
Big Chadders. Let's go.
Next up, we have Shantoto, which is...
Never mind.
It is Nevermind. But it is... in Sealed, this is going to be really good. There are multi-element decks where this can do 9k quite reliably, and there have been cards in the past, like Jake, I think, did the same thing on a forward. But yeah, it's not searchable. It's called Shantoto.
It's an absolute banger in title when you could play the other backup Shantoto to hit something for 7 times or 8 times 3k.
That's
Massive.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I thought
44.
it could have almost have done Black Mages, but then it was called Shantoto, and I'm like, oh, we really did you dirty.
Speaking about getting done dirty, Neelica, which is pretty cool and has a Welsh job name, which we weren't given the spoiler for.
Absolutely ridiculous.
0 out of 10, can't pronounce.
Coloured folk. So straight away we were in our Discord. We were like, Welsh speakers. What does this mean? And within seconds, like 2 or 3 people were like, means Excalibur. Oh, cool.
It's the original name for Excalibur from the 10th century.
Oh, well, the more you learn.
I love this card.
I think this is good. I don't think it's massively standard playable, but it's good. It's going to have haste, and it's going to dull 1 on attack, and it's going to deal something 3,000 damage. I don't think you can really sort of pick that up at all, but it's all right. I would have been happy to have had this as a spoiler.
I see this in their soiree.
I'll trade it with you for Havith. How about that?
Having a laugh.
We had 9, so come on, that can't get much worse than that.
Nah, 9 was all right. But
Being characters is his best thing about that. That's what I really like.
yeah, definitely. It's
backup.
Yeah.
so yeah, getting haste on something like that. This is going to be great for Sealed because there's a lot of Brave Exvius. There's a lot of Brave Exvius going around in the game anyway. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not great. Probably not in standard, but it's cool. Next up, we have Palom. This is great. This is really good. I would play this card in many decks. There's Black Mages. There's a Water Lightning Category 4 deck that me and Fish have been playing about with for quite a while. That this fits in beautifully to give Leonora more targets.
Absolutely.
Kill any 3 cost in the game? Nah, cool, great, love it. Gain a crystal with Cecil on field? Nah, love it, cool.
Yep. Just be careful. It can hit you.
Sure.
That's the one thing I'll just be careful. But no, great job name, great EX, ticks a lot of boxes. 4 CP, fine. It deserves it for that ability of just saying kill a free CP. Decent sized body for it. No, I like it. Anybody got anything to add to this one?
Solid card.
Moody fucker.
Hump.
He's got the hump. He's proper.
Oh my god! Somebody Photoshop a beanie on this boy.
I can't even.
Why does this look like Preston?
And they hit the
Not
6
Preston.
EX in our game, and I was just.
Next up, we have this super interesting Firion. 1 CP Warrior Rebel. If your opponent controls 4 or more dog characters, then he gains 5k Brave and can attack twice. And when Firion or forward enters your field, choose 1 character opponent controls and dull it. Super interesting, super cool.
Did somebody say Bart's Boko?
Oh, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It would definitely be nice.
If only we didn't ban a really essential card for it because the card was busted.
I do wonder if there's a way around it still. Category 5 and wind, no, probably not. If there's like a wind lightning or wind something for it, I'd love there to be new life for Bart's Boko, and I really hope that gets something that makes it viable again.
I mean, I think this is a nice wind card. Ice wind, ice lightning.
I think it's a nice wind card.
I got my elements wrong. It's
Please, son, explain your work.
No, it's just a nice lightning.
It's another warrior for the sealed environment.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Firion is so contested.
It is, but not in lightning.
But in lightning.
No, true.
You're not putting this in any other deck that's got Firion in.
So, what's on? was there not a weird quick forward that brought in like a 1 CP in lightning as well? It gave haste to things and stuff and all that. What was it called again?
Was it like Sid Previa?
Sid in mid or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I could weirdly see something like that, but it also counting backups for its haste, brave, whatever. Mid game, this is such a bomb.
Wind Lightning, you've got Stiltskin to search it as well. There's
yeah,
a lot of
Look
different.
at it, out to Cartman.
This
Thank you, Wind Lightning.
Wind Ice as well.
When
Yeah,
that,
Bill
oh
Hastings
yeah,
as well.
I'm hearing a lot about that.
We're gonna finish off Lightning here with Dragoon, which is pretty good. He
gonna love him.
can deal 4k to an active, or he can deal 8k to an active if you control 4 or more backups, which you probably do if you're playing this card. It's good. It's exactly what Dragoons should do.
Doesn't
This
say
is a
lightning
monster
backups though, to be
card.
fair.
No, so you can even play Wind Lightning to play those Dragoons as well.
Let's go.
Play it off of the wind out, that's
multi-
fine if you want.
It's it's a standard unit. It's multiples. Ticks a lot of boxes. But I think that was it. The big 5 CP Dragoon was just a wee bit too pricey, but it was you're guaranteed the free the 3,000 reduction for every Dragoon.
No matter how you swing it, there's definitely room for this. I think personally, I feel that Dragoons have moved far past Alice, so you've definitely got room for a bit more sort of non-Dragoons to play in there as well. And like you say, one of the best things about it is it doesn't actually say like Dragoon in its text. It just says backups. So
It's the second word, mate. What do you mean?
you know what I mean. But it means also that you can go straight in for, if you want to play Wind, you can, use standard unit searcher Sid Hayes, or again do the same thing with Water using Queen Bran. There's a lot you can do with this, and I definitely like it for that. But let's move into Water, and with Water we have Ash. I quite like the artwork. I like the Revenant Wings artwork quite a lot, but I suppose she does more than Onion Knight.
I was going to say, there's so much text in some of these cards, honestly.
Not
I'm
much more.
getting fatigue reading some of these. Yu-Gi-Oh level.
It's all right.
Move on.
I love the art.
Yeah, move on.
The art's very nice.
This is just worse than Ace, which is impressive. For Ace's enter or attack draw a card.
Yeah, it wouldn't have killed it to say enter or attack, would it?
No.
Next up, Gao. Broken.
Busted.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Give
Have you
me
got
the
that seal of
seal.
approval ready to go for this one?
Well, yeah, I absolutely think that. I don't think we actually gave the seal out in Lightning at all as well. But yeah, the seal is well and truly
I think
on
we
this
could have
one.
given the seal to the Odin, but
Oh, the Odin retroactively gets the seal.
this one without a doubt.
Yeah, this is crazy. So 5 CP, and its cost is reduced by every monster you control can become 0. In Mono Water, will become 0.
It will be 0.
In Mono Earth, monsters will become 0.
Well, as well, in Mono
Yeah.
Fire, this can quite happily become 0.
When my
Didn't-
goblin summoned a small child from the wild.
Didn't Duff say earlier that Black Knight in Lightning needed to be able to become a forward? There's your option.
Well, that's
Yay,
true because
let's go.
well, also when Gal enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls. If its cost is equal to or less than the number of monsters you control, put it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Yuck. And dull active Gal, not use the dull icon, just dull active Gal, so you can do it straight away. Choose one monster until the end of the turn. It also becomes a forward with 8,000 power. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Choose a monster. So like your opponent's got a very nice looking Skeleton on their side of the board that you can't touch. Or what if it just so happens to become an 8k forward so you can blow it up?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh, that's. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what you used to do with the 2 CP EX Realm from Opus 4 or 5, because that has a dull ability that says you can turn one monster into a forward, but not your own. So if you got Shantoto'd, you go, well, yeah, well, your Tom Breeze is now a forward.
He's
something
not
like that.
he's not even once per turn
No.
as well. Oh,
Here's a question. With things like Trox, where it's damage 3, if you made it a forward, does it still get the attack trigger before damage 3?
Ooh.
No, because the actual effect on making it a forward on the card says it gains that text.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
that text passively.
I think this
Okay.
occurred with like a Mira Legend that turned like backups into forwards or something else like that, and it basically blanks the backup to say no, it's just 8K
Yeah.
vanilla or whatever it was. I'll dig up a Twitter for that one. Yeah.
Incredible card, will 100% see play and probably become a legacy full art down the line.
Yeah.
Also a very great job.
Wild
Just
Child.
Wild Child.
Wild Child.
I love the
I thought you were
name.
going to say something about like it's just he's staring into a dinosaur's mouth and he's naked, but you know.
Can we get a
Goblins mugging you soon?
Can we get a Photoshop on that where we change his job to Wild Power and have him holding a kind of Kongstrong in his back?
Let's do it. Next up we have Kraken, the last of the Chaoses. 5 CP, 8K, and when Kraken enters the field, draw 1 card. And if you control 7 or more water characters, you can choose 1 forward, and it loses 10,000 power until the end of the turn. I think this is better than Zande.
It's
Probably the worst chaos, to be honest with you.
And it's still excellent.
It's still all right, yeah. But I still think that, I mean, water has Ash, which is a 1 CP 10k power reduction on an EX burst.
Yes,
so I don't
but
think
you can play this proactively rather than reactively as well,
Mm.
which you can't with Ash.
Being 3 CP doesn't make it better than a 1 CP.
Oh, for sure not.
No, definitely, but there's definitely room for one of these in mono water, 100%, because you can have 7 characters really easily. And that's
it's a low bar for it. It's a good one. For sure.
Minus 10,000 power is like that's well just gone, and you've drawn a card and got a forward.
If they AMI it, you get the draw.
Yeah, exactly. It's if you say it's the worst of them, that's really saying something.
Yeah.
I think the card is great. I think it's very likely to see play.
Just feels like the most vanilla of them, at least.
I would probably say that's Marilith.
Yeah. I would agree with that on Marilith.
Next up, we have Sage, which is Mini Rosa. 40p, 8k, and 0. Choose 1 forward. Activate it. You can only use this ability once per turn. This will see play. Simple as that. This will see play.
Yep. Hey, it makes my gal better. What more do I want? Let's go.
Can this be played in Cloudpod somewhere?
Probably
Wouldn't
not.
surprise me. You could turn a free CP into this.
You'd have to play it off of Tyro. Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, you could just play it off of something like that, but maybe even has room in that CloudPod OTK. To be honest,
people were turning other ones into Rosa. I think it was instead. So it's just another Rosa.
Yeah, I Rosa, was it Rosa gave you activate and 1k? But I don't think that the 1k was ever that important, but you could play both.
The 1k was important for saving stuff from Amaterasu. That was like the most important thing it did.
But as sacrificing that for multiplayable, that's like Warrior of Light becomes insane with something like this as well.
Rapid fire Sage.
It's pretty cool to if you can get this on the field with Griever, that's pretty solid.
Don't try and redeem Griever. Leave him be.
I don't think there's too much more to say of it, but like I think this is one of those buy your foils cards.
Hello, Adam in the chat. Adam just messaged. Can be used in the Rare Earth Water Summons list that we're running 2 Rosa from Uno triggers. Unai can only grab you 1 summon back a turn, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would be pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Well, also, but to be honest, it means that Uno can attack.
Also very true.
And it can also get a summon back in your opponent's turn. So.
Yeah. It's one of these nice ones where if you have Rosa name block, you've got an out.
Next up, we have the Slice and Dice spoiler, Sahagin. When Sahagin enters the field, choose 1 forward of cost 3 or less your opponent controls, return it to its owner's hand. And for 3 and dull, put Sahagin into the break zone, choose 1 forward, return it to its owner's hand. It's okay. It's
average looking Londoner right there.
He's no chef though.
No, He's no Shanghai chef. Just a regular Shanghai instead.
It is fine.
I really don't hate it.
No, it's a little bit on the telegraphed side, but it's fine. I don't think there's a great combo for it because of its costing and usage. You probably can't play this after Leviathan Lord of the World hits the field, and because of its costing, you probably can't get to damage 3 for Tross. But it's fine. It's okay.
I think it is just kind of worse than joking about it, but I think there's a Hagen Chief, the one that gets the counters. I think it's just kind of worse than it because this has to bounce on entry, but you can kind of keep that Chief ready to go, at the exact moment that benefits you.
But you know what? It's probably not too bad using this with Gal to make him an 8k.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
1 CP 8k is that's quite doable.
Yeah, and it can bounce your own forwards with its action. It's a bit pricey for it, but yeah, I don't hate it. We've seen a lot worse monsters rip Ram,
Yeah.
It's
Definitely not Ram tier.
It's definitely not Ram tier.
Next up we have Jed, the first water samurai. If a water forward or a category surrender a paradise forward you control as dealt damage, reduce it by 1k instead. Not particularly valid. Look at his big Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Jesus.
Right? I was gonna say.
When I first saw this artwork, I was like, "That's a samurai." Like, look
Yeah.
What, in his trackies? When Jed enters the field, choose one forward your opponent controls. If you control 2 or more category stranger of paradise forwards, put it on top of the owner's deck. Not bad. Probably the worst of these.
Yeah, move on.
I'll put a nice Cactuar logo on his t-shirt, he can start selling the merch.
Big speech bubble on it.
Come out as super dry.
You'd be the YYT model, Jed. I love it, yeah.
Next we have, oh god. Jacob, you say it. Nah.
Spring Serpent General Mealy Alipo.
Close enough, I guess.
Alipo!
If you control 2 or more water characters, the cost required to cast her is reduced by 2. When Spring Serpent General Mealy Alipo, not bad, is put from the field into the brick zone, draw 1 card. Oh, that's bad. And then for Dull, choose 2 forwards other than Spring Serpent. Activate them, they gain 1,000 power until the end of the turn. Okay.
Once again, does gain action ability haste with Cherry Cookie.
You can't use this as a replacement for Rosa because it doesn't say up to 2 forwards.
Oh,
well, you can choose it.
I missed
that.
It can't. It says choose 2 other than.
I suppose you can choose herself. Yeah.
No,
other than. Oh no. Yeah. Unplayable. Yeah. No.
Yikes!
Wow, he did it dirty.
That is. Well, to be honest with you, it doesn't hurt to have a water card nerfed like that. It's just in wind, this would do 4 points of damage as well. Next one, Cloutman's quite interested in, I think. So we've got Theodore here, looking like a 50-year-old man. He's a job prince, and if you control a card named Cecil or a card named Rosa, you can pay Crystal instead of paying the CP cost to cast Theodore. If you control a card named Cecil or Rosa, category 4 forwards, you control gain 1,000 power, which is not bad with the Rosa backup.
In theory as well, like if you've got the 4-drop Cecil from last set, it's free.
Yeah.
It's literally a free card.
It's actually really good.
Are you playing this over the wind, Theodore?
I was going to say the bar is that wins Theodore.
I think you run them both on a 2-1 or a 3-1 ratio. I mean, currently, I think my list has got 2 on the other one, so I just find space for one of these. Because that 1,000 power buff before you use the Cecil ability is just brilliant, especially on Cecil himself being a 9k, Theodore being a 9k. Well, all of them becoming basically 9k is extremely useful when most of them cost 4 or 3.
I think the good thing about this costing Crystal as well is color fixing. If you're playing like the just like Mono Earth Cecil for whatever reason, then you can just play this for a Crystal, or you could play this in like just Wind Earth if you've got the Rosa.
I think it's a
The
different type of
backup, the
card. from what
backup
we've seen.
choices are very nice. I do like it has that freedom because they tried this with another Theodore eons ago, didn't they? But you needed both. They both need to be forwards, and you had to double both
Tell
of
them
them.
both.
Yeah.
This is definitely a better payoff than that. But you're gonna have to sell it to me harder. But I don't play the wind one instead.
I mean,
I think so
ma-
too.
making Break Zone Edge an 8K, that's makes it even more useful for killing things.
I think it's pretty cool to play in like non-wind versions as well. So like Water Lightning is still pretty good, but I don't know. We'll have to see with this one. I think
the
it's
Cane
got
was
to
a very
test
good
it.
shout. To be fair, that was the Edge. Sorry, the Break Zone Edge was very nice.
Next up we have Astrologian. When Astrologian enters the field, look at the top 3 of your cards and then add one among them to your hand, put one at the top, and then put one at the bottom. And then for 2 water, tap and break, draw 1 card. Oh, why does water keep getting these backups?
Beautiful. Guarantee any experts.
It's law for it, but hey, fuck it. Sorry.
Yep.
It's just, a reprint, but still a standard unit, still works with Grahatea.
A reprint from one set later.
We needed it, okay? Water's had a hard opus.
What was the other one from last set? Okaka?
Owaka. No, Loperet.
No, there was also Owaka from last set as well that did the exact same.
yes.
Mark always draw 2 discard. If you had 3 more backups.
Yeah.
Objectively bad.
It's
in
excellent. This
comparison.
will see play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Move on. It's
We
it
have
is what it is.
Desh, who's just come out from a Ramstein gig.
Controversial.
Du hast.
that Desh is definitely German. Cost 5, category 3, Mysterious Man. And if a character your opponent controlled was returned from the field to its owner's hand this turn, the cost required to cast Desh is reduced by 3. 9k. Cool common, doesn't do anything.
Still better than Monk.
Yeah, 2CP, 9k. If you, again, do something like the Sahar game, not bad. Cool for sealed.
In Earth, this would only cost you 3,
Better than Onion Knight.
Cool for sealed, not really much else to say about it.
Yeah. Someone's going to do a cool 1CP Sahagin, bounce your thing back and play this, and you're going to go, well, du hast.
Next up we have Paladin, which is our crystal and draw backup. This is very relevant because it means that you're drawing cards, you're filling up your break zone, and you're getting crystals for Glaciella. It's good.
Crystals. It's the same as the other ones we've seen, isn't it?
It is, but in water, there's, crystals have always been good. And again, alone, this just means that Glaciella can discard a card and kill anything. That's great.
Yeah. It's nice these aren't fixed to their actual elements as well, but you're right. Glaciella is the pinnacle of crystals still. Maybe with Robel as a very close second.
Lady Lilith?
No,
Whoa.
not with water. No.
Nah.
Next up we have Ninja. Back attack, and before paying the cost to cast Ninja, you can pay Crystal to reduce it by 3. And when Ninja enters the field, choose one for your opponent controls, return it to its owner's hand. It's cool.
Cost 1 with Edge.
Yeah, I think this is growing on me as well because again, having a bounce to hand with a body involved is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's fine. I think. I think this is going to see a really good, a lot of play like in sealed. I think it's an absolute powerhouse in pre-release, but in standard, I don't know. Probably not. I don't think that mono water needs this and can really find the space for it. But it's fine.
Am I sacrificing a summon for this from all of I've been? Yeah, I could do a point of damage, I guess. Yeah. I think I agree with what you said there. Maybe good for sealed.
Next up, we have BK.
Busted.
Are you ready, kids?
BK. Bonky Kong. He is a pirate from Stranger of Paradise, and it's probably the best Stranger of Paradise card we've seen so far, maybe. No, other than the Chaoses, they're pretty good, I suppose. If you control 2 or more job, pirate, and or card named Viking. Not job, card named Viking. The cost required to cast BK is reduced by 4. Excellent. We love free guys.
I don't know. 2 Vikings sounds like a lot. I don't know if you're going to get that many on the field.
The job pirate forwards and card name Viking forwards, other than BK you control, gain If this forward is dealt damage by your opponent, abilities from the damage become 0 instead. It's massively uninspired, but he's really good.
Remember when Veil 4 ruined your day? Well, not anymore, kids.
Yeah.
We fixed that problem of an angry man.
Absolutely amazing card.
Susano, not today.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. That's a big axe.
Yeah, Gallop into that Viking. You hit another Viking, and then you play this for free. You just
Also means
sail off to the sunset.
You know, like again, if they ever do Vikings outside of water, he can still see play.
Oh yeah. I think this is it. They are trying to future-proof, I assume, Vikings, which is nice, especially since we're about to come up to the legend.
Yeah, well, we'll do all three of these in one go as well. So we'll do Faris, the water legend here, which says the power of the job pirate forwards and card name Viking forwards, other than Faris you control, becomes 8,000, which it doesn't even matter because she's 8,000 anyway. And for 0, choose one summon or ability that is choosing only Faris. You may choose another water forward you control. The newly chosen forward must be a valid choice. So, if it's something that costs, if it says get a 4 or more, you can't put it on your Vikings because they only cost 3 or less. So,
does this get a seal of approval?
So yeah, I like it a lot. I think this does get the seal. I think all of these Viking cards get the seal.
I think they're some of my favorite cards of the set.
That's cool.
I think
it's gonna be the deck that everyone's gonna be trying first, isn't it?
Which is why which is why the first deck that I'm playing is Earth Lightning, so I can Ixion and show them
Ixion everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just Ixion mill by having them draw their own cards. It's cool. It does what it says. It's not massively inspired, but it brings life into a dead archetype. So I'm all for it. To be honest, the art's really nice. It's another Faris.
But we're monk support.
Well,
no, yeah.
Monks don't
Inspire, you see.
Monk support.
We don't get support around.
Well, what's
around
that?
these parts.
That's
Not
right
support,
there.
mate. That's
life support.
That's a Tanya Harding pipe to the knee. That's not support.
We'll move on to Layla as well, which is again another Chebs out of 10 card, which I want the full arts of. When Layla
the
enters,
Faris could have been a full art as well.
the Mobius ones never are.
They become legacy ones sometimes. That's about it.
This is a custom art.
When Layla enters the field, you may search for one job pirate or card named Viking and add it to your hand. When water forward you control attacks, choose one forward your opponent controls, it loses £1,000 at the end of the turn. Really solid. Really solid. It's not a replacement for the other one. It might be, to be honest. The other one's still really, really good, but this one is excellent.
This one's good early game. The other one's good late game. I feel.
I still think that there's enough interaction with the play standard unit backups forwards from break. You had Gladiator, we had the White Mage or something. Which would play them for free. I think you could probably get away with not playing the old Layla because of those.
I agree. You're going to find very quickly that there's only room for 50 cards, and with all these new water ones, this might be a mono water deck now.
I could see it. Yep.
It's cool.
I ran the numbers a while ago. Even without running the second layer, you're already at 24 cards from just Vikings, Faris, this Layla, and BK.
Yeah, but it might be something as low as 4 backups, which is Queen Bran and I don't know, Arya.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going forward spam, you can absolutely warp your backup line. I think you're just top decking for that even a Merly Whip to find you the Lelia to go straight into it. You could carve some weird decks out of this. I think
Breakzone Hate is also going to play a bit into which one you're going to prefer, because if Breakzone Hate is as prevalent as it seems it might be this set, then maybe the old one is just going to be so difficult to actually get what you want.
Yeah.
You throw in a letter.
Backup Snow though in the Viking deck.
Oh god, yes.
is a very cool archetype, and I think it'll be very fun to basically say. So you can play, you know, dragoons, monks, samurais, or pirates. It's like, yeah.
I think with the snow backup, I think the reason why the snow backup was so good in Vice Kings was because all of your Vikings were 2K, 3K, whatever. But now they're 8K, they can very much stand their own in combat
and live. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
Next up we have Larsa. Solid backup, solid common. When Larsa enters the field, search for 1 forward of cost 4 or more and add it to your hand. That's great.
Playable off of Fran, which is very nice.
Yeah, and that's that's going to get you another
get
way
you
to go.
Van.
Yeah, gets you Van. Well,
not restricted to its element.
Yeah,
you know, research. It ticks a lot of boxes. It's a really strong common.
Not really too much more to say than that, but it's a good card. And then there's Leviathan. I love this card. Absolutely love this card. Since this was revealed, I was like, well, this is 2 CP unit going back in decks because, during your turn, the cost required to cast Leviathan is reduced from 6 to 4. Choose 1 forward and put it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Then you may play 1 forward of cost 2 or less from your hand onto the field. That's great. Absolutely broke. But the fact is that you can you can pay 6 and do this in your opponent's turn, which is quite expensive and probably means that you don't have a lot of cards left in hand to play the 2 cost, but paying 5 for it in your opponent's turn with Una backup, reducing it, I think this is very playable.
Or you pay 0 for it with Rydia.
Yeah, absolutely doable as well.
Rydia is so easy hitting 6 counters at the moment because you play Rydia, then you play the Cecil, and then crack the Cecil into another Cecil, and you immediately have 6 counters the turn it comes down. So yeah, this is pretty good.
This probably goes in Vikings as well, right? Vikings are cheap enough to play off of that for the most part.
And it gets rid of the threats. Because pirates aren't removing threats; they're just big. They're just 8K boys. You know, this will do that.
That's quite possible as well. Yeah, I think that is absolutely valid. I think this is something to be afraid of. Really, I think this card's going to quite possibly
even the 1
be
CPs as well. You forget how many weird 1 CP cards are working. You know, things like a lightning that gets thrown out, or I don't know, Leo, or Ultros. There's some odd things that's lurking in the dark.
And it's not a water card as well. Like this can play that new Firion.
Mm-hmm. It can play a lot. It really can. I think it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. I do agree with you. It's one that when it was spoiled, it would deserve its hype.
I would give it pseudo haste as well, because obviously you'll have the forward on your field at the start of your turn after you play it with this, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of this one. Get your full arts while you can. Yeah. Next we have Hrus, which is the other Excalibur. He's sort of cool. He costs 6, but he doesn't cost 6. He actually only costs 4 as a minimum. Because every time that you draw a card, he costs 1 less. It doesn't really do too much, but if you can discard 1 card, you can remove him from the game and play him back to the field. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but again, that's mono water was something that was trying Chaos Arc for a while. So another way to discard those sort of cards is pretty solid, and it's always going to fill up the break zone for Lena. Which means that he can do 3 blocks and not die. It's not too bad. Anybody got any strong thoughts on Roos?
I think he's about as difficult to kill as Kadaj is, which is going to be very frustrating. Another neat little tech you can do if you wanted to is it the white mage forward, which whenever you discard a card due to an ability in your opponent's turn, you draw a card. So you can just mill yourself out with this 2-card combo if you wanted to completely.
How do you kill this in sealed? If they have like a hand, just how?
No,
you lose. You roll over.
You lose the
extend
floor.
handshake.
Like I just don't understand it. Like of that kind of thing. It's built in such a way that yes, you burn your resources of hand and things, but it just doesn't die.
You'd think it would say you can only do this once a turn or something, but it doesn't. You can respond to it with its ability.
It feels like it's missing that line of text, and it's something to be a bit wary about.
Yeah, I
feel.
think he's better than he
correct as
looks.
well.
I
Fire
think
is correct. You can block and then remove him from game.
I think the line of him only coming in at the end of turn is why you can do it as many times as you want per turn, because you can just go on the stack and bin your hand. Great, you bring it back.
Like, even if you choose to try and blank it, you just go and stack of that, discard a card.
Yeah.
Gone. You don't.
And
Yeah,
then they
it's a
go off the
very.
creature lane either.
And he
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't have like anything like he re-enters dull or anything like that. Like he's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no penalty. It's just an end of turn.
try it out. It doesn't get the seal, but it's a definite try it out.
It's a thinker. As I say, I think it's like Kadaj. It could be a wee dark horse. It could be. I think in sealed, if you can go into water, go for it.
Next up, we have Lena. Dale, you've been playing a lot of Warrior of Light recently. What do you think of Lena?
I think it's an amazing card. I think I'm a bit scared of the EX burst draw one card, because one thing I've noticed is I mill myself pretty quick with the Warriors of Light deck. But being able to like play your like Faris and your Refia onto the field is very handy.
I think
Again, you can choose to activate those EX bursts or not, mate.
Just want to mention
It's
that
when my
Fallon gave the
opponent-
previous card his seal of approval. So.
Retroactively that will get that. So, I think the important thing for me is like needing all the element backups for Warriors of Light and being able to go.
The 2-cost water one, like.
Well, it goes Claris into King Tycoon into Lena.
Oh my
There's-
god.
Ding, ding,
There's
ding.
3 elements.
Yeah.
First of all, nastiness.
And you've now got a new wind one that's a princess that basically says also stop your EXs if you don't have this ready yet
Yeah.
on a forward.
Well, we still get a fire one, which means we've got to have one less, which is probably Tyro or Shantoto. But like the backup line as we currently know it completely changes. But Lena, the light Lena saw play in Warriors of Light for a while, and it was pretty good in that deck when the Loon of backup could give it haste. But the current version of it does not play it. So Lena's not a contested name. It's dead searchable. Yeah, I think this is.
We will get a new king as well in a fire backup, Edgar.
Edgar, yeah.
And that's a Claris hit, isn't it?
Yeah, and it can play the Lena.
It can play the Lena.
So
The only thing I
Let's
want
go,
to see,
gamers.
the search engine is difficult to
really
take
Or
away
backup
any
turn 2.
Big ram.
Warrior of Light backups,
yeah,
because you want to be using your backups as well for the Refia effect. So if you're running Refia, having Warriors of Light as backup does feel really good.
I'm going to say this absolutely gets the seal.
It was the
Agreed.
right name for it. I think if it was any other name, yeah, I'd be very worried. But Lena is so contested. But it's Rays, it's S, so yeah. Good stuff.
So good. Let's see where we are with water now. I think there's only one left, and
Last
it is
one.
Refia.
It's alright.
It's pretty good, apart from the fact that it's water. And it doesn't matter that it's called Refia because it doesn't have the job, and it doesn't have the category never mattered with Final Fantasy 3 anyways. It's not a Warrior of Light, which is fine. It can play a forward of cost 4 from your break zone, which means it's probably going to a WAF forward of cost 4. So like the ideal thing would be it plays Quattro Queen. But you can't really go into water with what you've got without a color fixer, so it's just sort of, it's okay. It's pretty good.
Expensive.
It exists.
I don't know if it's too expensive if you can play a
I
forward
mean,
of
the
cost 4.
effect, yeah, for the effect, it's
There's
fine.
potential-
But 5 CP.
Yeah, there's a potential line, but as you say, it's WAF is almost there, but I think WAF is, yeah. Wrong
It's
element, as you said.
It's like typo. It's missing the color fixer.